Good to know. Off to the store for some hollow points and candles. I've already got some ash out back from a big bonfire I had a couple nights ago. Also, Osisham. This one is from my senior year of high school, about 10 years ago. Be me. Just starting lurking on /k/. Really want to go in a woods. Recently got my fid. SKS for my birthday, fuck yeah. Invite my only Haskins friend along to go camping near Appalachian Trail. He says yes, brings a Winchester lever action in .30 to 30. Plan is to start up at northern part of Massachusetts, follow the trail south for 3 days. We brought plenty of food and fuel, not much water, as we plan to be near rivers most of the time. Buddy brought a harmonica. From now on, I'll call him John. We get dropped off near where we want to start and start hiking. Covering pretty decent ground for the first few hours. Slow down a bit after a quick lunch, still moving along pretty well. We stop for the night, set up our tent. I start the fire, boil water we collected. John cooks up some of our food, plays harmonica a bit. We're just sitting around the fire eating and talking. Bring up the fact that we haven't seen anyone all day. He shrugs it off. It's a bit shitty weather and cold, so it's not that strange. Put out the fire and we go to bed, sleeping with, unloaded, Rafus. We get up the next day, strike camp. Eat cold breakfast and start hiking again. Suddenly we hear loud footsteps coming up the trail behind us. Running really fast. We look behind us, figure it's a trail runner or a deer running from something. Ready rifles just in case. The second we turn around, the sound stops. We're a little weirded out, but continue along for a bit. I realize that the woods are quiet as fuck ever since we heard the running. Mention it to John. Relax man, it's almost winter. Most things are probably just hiding away in their burrows. Decide I'm just being a pussy. Ignore the silence. We stop for lunch near a stream, and John collects a bit of water from it. Sniffs at it to make sure it's semi-clean. Recoils. What the fuck? Anon, smell this water. Wary that he's gonna splash me in the face, I take it and smell it. Oh god, this eyes off fool. Jiv. Smells like rotten meat and piss. We follow the stream upriver to see if a dead deer or bear fell in and is rotting away in it. After a few minutes of walking, we come to a cave that the stream is flowing out of. John walks in right away. Hey, John. Wait a minute, we shouldn't dash. Oh, come on, Anon. I've got a flashlight and I'm not gonna fall in, so let's just check it out. Okay, I guess. Grab my own flashlight and my SKS. Following John into the cave. We come to a huggies cliff where the water falls down, not really a waterfall, but with E. It's smooth as hell, made of this really shiny black rock. Alright John, looks like we can't go any farther, let's go back. Okay, Anon. Just let me look over here, I thought I saw a ha. Look at this, man. A staircase cut into the side of the cliff, barely visible unless you look straight at it. John immediately starts climbing up. I follow him, but I'm just about shitting my pants. We're about halfway up when suddenly we hear this voice. Help me. Help me. Help me. Help me. Just repeating the same thing over and over, in the exact same tone of voice, exact same inflection. It sounded like a broken record. The voice was creepy as fuck, it sounded like a human voice coming through a fucked up speaker. Crackly at the edges and sort of deeper than it should be, obviously feminine. It's coming from the top of the cliff. John shouts up to it. Don't worry, we're coming for you. Just hold on. John, wait a goddamned minute. What the fuck, Anon? Are you just gonna walk away from somebody who might be stranded or hurt? No, but I don't think that dash. Then let's fucking go. He double times it up the stairs, rifle slung over his shoulder. Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! Voice gradually getting louder and more distorted. He's going a lot faster than I am. That's what saves me. He gets to the top of the stairs. Shines flashlight toward the sound. Ma'am, are you dash? Suddenly stops talking. I'm just a flight below the top, I can hear him walking. Sounds really jerky, but steady. Like a metronome or something. Steps suddenly stop. At the exact same time, the voice stops yelling for help. I just barely hear John whisper. Of course, whatever you need. Crunching noise, sound of dripping liquid. Help me! Help me! Help me! Help me! It's a different voice, and it takes me a second to recognize it. It's John's voice. Oh shitniggers.mp3. Fucking sprint out of there. It's a miracle I didn't break my neck on those fucking steps. Managed to contact a friend who was going to pick us up in 2 days. Tell him something got John, freaking out. He calls the cops/forest department. Tells me I have to meet them near a ranger station, at a small town. I manage to get out of the woods, meet up with cops. I claim a bear ate him. Lots of questioning, realize they think I might have murdered him. Finally break down and tell this old grizzled ranger dude what really happened when we're alone. He just nods. There's some strange things what happen up in those mountains. Might be I'll head up there soon and take care of it. What the fuck? Is this guy serious? He smiles at me, and nods toward the wall of his office at the ranger station. A bunch of mounted skulls. They look like fucked up deer/moose/goat heads. Curvy horns, long jaw bones, huge eye sockets. Now, I'm off to go kill that bear of yours. I'll make sure them city boys know that you didn't do nothing. I'm sorry about that friend of yours. Gee, good hunting. Thank ya kindly. I still can't get over it, especially since about 2 weeks after that, the paper printed a story about an individual who wished to remain nameless that had taken down a rabid grizzly not too far off the Appalachian Trail. Forest ranger for a large amount of dense wooded forest just north of the US border. 1,200. Just signed on to shift. Get a call on the radio for a 10 to 49, missing person, in my area, last seen wearing a sweatshirt, hiking shorts, and a red backpack. Missing for 2 days now, and was just reported. Mount up, fuel up, and head out into the area he was last known to be in. Cruising for about an hour and a half, decided would be a good idea to start out on foot, as he won't be on any service roads. Notify dispatch to send an additional unit. Wait for a half hour until backup arrives, he's a good guy I enjoy working with. We head up onto a trail that's known for people getting lost, as halfway up it splits and goes further into the woods instead of curving around and heading back out towards the service area. Hiking for an hour, calling out the person's name, keeping an eye out for clues, etc. I wind around a bend and find the remnants of a campsite. Shout out for my partner and the missing gentleman. Partner doesn't come around the comer. Jeff. Go back around the comer, partner isn't there. Come up on the radio. Anon. Anon, come in. Officer Anon, are you code 4? Nothing. Well fuck. Inspect the campsite, it's fairly recent, about a week, but no new footprints or indents in the mud surrounding the fire pit, except animals. Decide to wait for partner, he may have gotten lost. Try the radio again. Officer Anonymous, this is Anonymous, come in. Are you code 417? Looking around in the trees, listening for any sounds out of the ordinary. Wait for 45 minutes for partner, while walking in a little circle around the campsite. Partner doesn't show up, now I'm a little worried. Go back around the bend in the trail, past the little rock outcropping. head back the way we came and am looking for any sign of him. As I come up onto a hill, I hear footsteps up ahead of me, boots on the rocky path. Come up on the radio again, Officer Anon, are you code 4? Part 2. Still nothing on the radio. Dart up ahead to get a good look at whoever is on the trail. Spot a red backpack on the guy. He seems to be walking a little funny, no swing of his arms. Walking almost like a robot. Excuse me, sir, what's your name? I'm 20 feet behind him by this point. Sir. He's still walking like a robot. Hey. He stops, and turns around lighting fast. Are you Herb son McDurb son? He just stares at me. Are you Herb son McDurb, sir? He still doesn't speak, but nods his head. We've been looking for you, let's head back to the trailhead. After about 40 minutes we reach the trailhead, and my partner's vehicles are still there. Now, I'm going to put you in the back of my truck, you're not under arrest, just so you can relax and catch your breath. Try the radio again, Anon, are you out there? Anon. The radio crackles to life. This is Officer Anon. Yeah, I'm okay, found the missing person. He's got a broken leg after falling off a small cliff. I've patched him up and we're on our way back to the trailhead. Sorry for not responding, as out of range. Got separated at one of the trail forks. What? Abby? Anon, I've got the missing hiker, he's in the back of my truck right now. Silence for 2 minutes. Anon, lock your truck and grab the 12 gauge from my Jeep. Why? Just do it, and don't let it out of your sight. Okay. Abby. Unlock his Jeep, grab the 12 gauge and inspect it to see if there's a round in the chamber. Calmly walk over to my truck and peek in the window. Nobody in my truck, and the cage was bent to a severe angle, with my driver's side door open.
B-15. Live in New Mexico. Fuck this place man, hot as fuck, why not California? Live in AP nice house outskirts of town, about 30-minute walk into town proper, 5 minutes in a car. Big ass backyard, like bigger than the house, and on the other side of the fence is straight up forest. Hardly even 20 minutes away from Gila National Forest. This is like summer though. June or July or somewhere in there, so nobody goes into the forest. Brother John, call him Johnny, is in the Marines. He's on shore leave home for a week or 2. So what does he do? Wrangles up a bunch of his military friends, about 8, and invite me to go camping with them in the forest behind our house. Tells me I can invite a friend or 2 of mine, bring my hunting rifle in case they feel like going on a deer hunt or something. Sure, why not? Johnny's been away for a long ass time. Invite my best friend Sarah to go camping with us. She's like, of course, lol. Now a word on John, he loves scaring the piss out of me. So the entire time people are arriving at our house I'm expecting him to pull some sort of shit. Keeping my cell phone in my bra because we aren't that far away from the house and it's not like we won't get any service when we're in the woods. Everything's fine for about 30 minutes, I'm sitting with Sarah and we're giggling. All of John's Marine buddies are good guys, but really rowdy. They have beer, offer us some. Sarah goes, fuck that, but I've got nothing against beer, so why not? I take 1 beer and that's it. They may be good guys but they're guys and I'm not about to get drunk with like 8 of them around. For the most part everything was normal until I felt something watching me from the woods. I looked around for Johnny because I wanted to ask him if he invited anybody else to go camping with us. He's nowhere to be seen. Worried, but Johnny also has a rifle, so he'll be fine. Take up spots on the edge of the campsite so we can watch the guys. After 20 minutes there are guys running around shirtless, laughing and hooting and hollering and shit, wearing camo fatigues and hiking boots and having a good time, and Sarah and I are busy with the eye candy when I feel something grab my shoulder from behind. Jesus Christ! It's Johnny, he fucking snuck up behind me. I'm mad, but I'm not about to go back inside or anything. Eventually the campsite gets moved a little deeper into the forest, we can barely see the fence from where we are. Sun is definitely going down now, and in the dark the house and the fence fades from view. Light a campfire, sure, why not? Dudes are dancing around it shirtless, everybody's laughing. Around our house, usually the forest lit up with noise around sundown. I'm talking, like birds and shit. It always got pretty noisy. But tonight it's dead fucking silent, not single owl or bird or anything. We don't care, it's a party. Sarah is flirting hardcore with some of the guys, and that's sort of gross to me, but only because I associate them with my brother, and B, they're all 21 and up. Suddenly we hear this. I don't know. A wail? A moan? Sounded like two people at the same time, high-pitched and low-pitched. Off in the forest. Everybody gets quiet. Thank God for Marines, they put their shirts on and put away the beer for a second. Maybe it's a bear. Nigga, when have you ever heard a bear like that? At this point we notice that the forest is silent, just dead fucking silent. Everybody is getting a little nervous now, especially Sarah. Let's go back to the house. Come on guys, really we should go back to the house. Johnny's buddy Martin basically tells her to woman up and settle down. Sarah gets pissed and clams up. We hear it again, closer this time. Johnny's got his rifle, I go to get mine. But like a fucking idiot I left it at home. There are 3 people with hunting rifles including Johnny and 1 guy with a pistol. Suddenly everything fucking reeks. I'm talking rotting meat and vomit, it's so bad that one of Johnny's friends gags. Hardcore Marine has been overseas for like 3 months. He GAAs from this smell that is coming out of the woods. Form up around us because protect the civilians, I guess? 8 guys with Johnny, Sarah, and I in the middle. Now, living in New Mexico, we hear a lot of Spanish horror stories and such, so there are a couple of jokes floating around about La Llorona, the one who cries, which is a pretty popular ghost story. Sarah hates that sort of shit. Shut the fuck up guys right now, seriously. Martin tells her to cool her tits, it's just a joke. She starts to reply when the campfire goes out. Mass fucking panic, the guys are shouting jargon to each other and 2 guys break formation to try and get the fire back going again. Sarah starts screaming and says somebody just touched my chest. Fire goes back on, the guys get back into formation. Sarah is sobbing, covering her boobs with her arms. Johnny has his rifle raised, looking around. The guys start to settle down, when Johnny starts screaming at the dude in the back of the group. He's just standing there back to the rest of us as per circle. Formation or whatever, and he isn't moving at all. At first I have no idea what the issue is. I mean, maybe he drank a little too much or something. I try to calm Johnny down but he is full man mode and I can't get him. Johnny, what the fuck is the matter with you? He's screaming tango 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 tango, but the other guys don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Look around to make sure everybody's still there and I nearly shit myself. There are 9 people in the circle. Nope.jpg. A second later the other guys catch on. The 2 standing on either side of whoever the fuck this is leap back like it's about to explode. All 3 rifles and the pistol leveled at this guy's head, he doesn't even fucking move as 8 dudes start shouting for him to get on the ground and put his hands on his head. Hear something rustle in the bushes off to the right, 8 dudes turn with military precision to look and Sarah and I scream because the second they look away, number 9 starts to look over his shoulder and then vanishes. Nope, out of the circle. Nope, down the hill towards my house. Nope, straight into the fence because fuck if I can see where I'm going. Luckily I'm a bit stockily built, and I've got plenty of muscle from hiking and hunting in the woods, and the fence is old and weak. I go right through my fucking fence, cut myself in 3 places and get a fat splinter in my elbow, but I'm back in my backyard at least. Johnny, Sarah, and the others come hurtling down the hill after me. File in through the fence. Tango sighted. In the light of the campfire we can see it standing in our campsite, looking down at us. Light is sketchy at best by this point, especially since it's standing in front of the fire, but from the fence it looks like its head is jittering back and forth on its neck, like those twitchy fuckers in Jacob's Ladder. 3 gunshots, when the muzzle flash dies down, it's gone again. Hear the wail/moan again, and then closer than ever we hear this freakish gibbering laughter, like hyena level shit. Shoot it. Now they're wasting ammo out of fear, shooting at shadows in the forest. Sarah has practically shit herself by this time. She's sobbing and screaming and trying to get me on my feet so we can get back inside. Johnny tells the others to get through the fucking fence already. When we all look back up, it's halfway down the hill, shaking like it's vomiting or something, but there's no sound or anything coming out of its mouth. Get in the fucking house. Through the fence, sprint across the yard, Johnny pulling me along because my arm fucking hurts and I can't do anything. Make it back inside, lock the back door, crowd around it with guns. Martin helps me with my fucked up arm and Johnny grabs my hunting rifle from my room, locking all of the doors and windows in the house as he goes. Sit around the door all night, literally too piss scared leave our spots. Parents come home from town at 12:15 and we all shit bricks. My mom and dad refused to believe us even though I'm all bloody. Johnny's gun has clearly been fired and he shows them the clip, and we're all clearly spooked as fuck. They got mad at us for A, locking all the doors and B, leaving a fire in the forest, so they just go right to bed. Anons' mom is right, we gotta put out that fire. Johnny straight up fucking laughs, like who is going to be stupid enough to go back out there? Sarah volunteers. Are you shitting me? Sarah started bitching about having left her purse or something back at the campsite, so eventually Marvin, who I'm beginning to think at this point is kind of a dickbag, tells the others that it's probably just shadows and shit. Sarah goes with Marvin back to the campsite. Marvin takes the pistol. We sit there for like 10 minutes getting antsier and antsier. Pounding on the back door. Jesus Christ. Martin starts screaming for us to let him in, calling us faggots and niggers and the like. Johnny opens the door. Where's Sarah? Doesn't know. Where the fuck is Sarah? Apparently when they got to the campsite, when Martin put out the campfire, Sarah started giggling like a hyena and then vanished. He got the fuck out of there. Johnny started arguing with Martin about leaving a civilian alone in the forest, and I'm just ready to pass out or cry from exhaustion in my arm. Johnny and Martin are fucking screaming at each other. Mom comes in from her bedroom and tells them to shut the fuck up. People are trying to sleep, what's going on? I start crying, tell her that Sarah's gone. What do you mean gone? Fuck if I know. Martin fills my mom in and she goes to call the police. Johnny tells her to wait in her room and lock it, and her window, and the bathroom door. Martin calls Johnny an idiot and tells him that they should get all the civilians rounded up in the same place. Johnny starts to respond when there's a thump on the back door. Knocking, but it's horribly wrong, no rhythm or anything. Sounded like, thump thump, thump thump, thump thump thump. Thump thump thump. Raspy voice, like, completely inhuman, says Tango from the other side of the door. Sounds like, Taeon 900000. Wersha fucko 3. Martin shoots through the door. Loud fucking scream, then the sound of someone hauling ass across the yard. Weary sray aaoyag. Devolves into this guttural, atrocious snarling. After 3 or 4 minutes of this, I swear to God it felt like an eternity, we hear snuffling outside the door. Smell is back. We hear whimpering, then giggles from just outside the door, near the bottom. Whimpering like a dog or an animal. Then very very softly, from the bottom of the door, Sarah. Sarah. Everything in my body goes fucking cold, my stomach does a flip, and the guys are too freaked out to even shoot for a second. Johnny puts a rifle round through the door, but by the time he shoots the thing must have moved, because seconds later we hear the hyena laughter up on the hill. Again. Watch the back door until the police show up. Someone is in the forest fucking with us. They investigate, come back in half an hour and say that their dogs are going apeshit, but they can't find anything, have we been doing drugs, etc. Alcohol, but that's it. Police leave and we don't hear the thing again. Nobody felt safe going home that night, and my bedroom had a window looking out into the backyard, so everybody slept in the living room. The next day we got all our shit from the campsite and I went to Sarah's house to tell her parents that Sarah had gone missing in the forest. Sarah lived down the street from us, and their backyard didn't lead into the forest like ours did, but it was really close. Sarah's mom answers the door. Explain. What are you talking about? I heard Sarah come in early this morning. Noped out of there. We moved about 3 weeks later, to California. Before anybody asks, no, I didn't go to see Sarah at all after that. She didn't show up to school, and I refused to even go outside alone without my rifle, so I was sort of a shut in.
Hey/X/ let me tell you a story. Pic is a map of the place I was staying, just to give you a better feel for what's going on. The green is all forest and the yellow is grassy areas. The house was on a hill and the brown stuff is a path. This is my cousin's property where I visited recently. Shit went down. Never going back. B23. Go visit cousin in the country for 3 days. He has a house with a small lake, or large pond, or whatever, big enough to swim in. His property also has a decent amount of thick forest. Forest surrounds the lake, his house, and this largish field area. Field has a shed filled with junk. It's a pretty cool place. I used to go as a young kid. Basically spent every summer there of my life up until I was 12. Suddenly stopped going, and whenever I told my mom I wanted to go back, she just said no. Gave no reason, just no. Eventually give up and move on. But a few weeks ago I got a call from my cousin. Hey, I haven't seen you in forever, come visit sometime. Why not? My cousin tells me I can bring a friend or two if I want, but he says he's inviting some friends over too. His parents are on a cruise in the Caribbean apparently, and he's house sitting. He's older than me, 25 or 26 I think. So go visit with buddies of mine, Mark and Aiden. Meet cousin Luke, and his 5 friends, Chris, Mary, Henry, Jesse, girl, and Jasper. Me and my buddies arrive around 1 and unpack our stuff. Greeted with weed and beer. Cool, all my cousin's friends seem like chill people. Eventually settle in. Head out to the lake to swim until it's about 3 or 4. While I'm swimming I have this bad feeling, as if I'm being watched. Wave it off, enjoy girls in bikinis and the booze. Cousin has a water trampoline for the lake. Also a paddle boat. Dick around all afternoon until about 6. Cousin tells us it's time to wrap it up. PSH, party pooper we. Cousin just waves it off, and even though we argue he makes us head up to the house. We eat some pasta for dinner and it's like 7 now. Beautiful summer night, I want to watch the sunset. Grab a 6-pack and head outside. Where you going, Anon? My cousin asks. Oh, just outside, it's a nice night I say. Cousin looks nervous. I don't know about that, Anon, there's bears outside, they get pretty close to the house. Well, if that happens I'll just come inside, tell him. Still looks worried. Lets me go. Chill outside for a little bit. Cousin comes outside after a while. Brings gun with him. Lil Wood. WTF you need this for? I ask. Me being raised in the suburbs, I've never touched a gun before, let alone seen a real one. You know, just in case. Sit outside for a while, the sun is gone and it starts to get dark. Cousin insists we go inside. I give in. He locks the door behind us, but I notice there's a huge fucking deadbolt on the door. Like really big, unreasonably big. 3 other smaller locks on the door, American Samoa. Well, whatever, I guess they're just secure. Head upstairs and chill with everyone else. They're watching a movie and smoking some weed. Take a seat next to Mary, because she's hot, and I'm trying to get my dick wet. We chat it up, she's cool, and drunk, and high. Easy pickings, boys. She suggests we go somewhere quieter. Head over to a bedroom on the first floor. Start making out, get some over the pants handjob action. She's topless. She suddenly stops. Was wrong, I ask her. She says nothing and just stares behind me, kinda like she's looking for something. Suddenly she screams. Loudest fucking scream I've ever heard. Runs out of the fucking room topless. I look behind me, nothing there. WTF, am I that repulsive? Grab her shirt and bra and follow her out. She's sitting in the middle of the living room in the fetal position. I give her the shirt and shit, she's putting it back on as everyone else runs downstairs. What's wrong, I ask. What's wrong, WTF was that screaming, everyone else asks. She doesn't talk for a few minutes. People start saying I raped her. I'm like, nope, shut the fuck up. She finally speaks up. Thanks bitch, now tell them I didn't rape you. What she says clears my name, but also fucking ruins my vacation. While we were hooking up, I told you it was consensual. I looked out the window and thought I saw something, but because the light was on I couldn't really see out the window all that well, she says. Makes sense. All of a sudden someone's face gets real close to the window, except their face was all wrong. What? Their eyes were all sunken in and their nose seemed really broken. Everyone is quiet as fuck listening to her. And their mouth and just hanging open, almost crooked, like they had a dislocated jaw or something. Everyone starts freaking out. OMG, there's creepers watching us, WTF. Ew, gross, he sounded ugly. Some people think she's kidding. It was probably just Anons reflection, Aiden says. LOL, her der. I'm being fucking serious right now, you fucks. Mary snaps at him. I know what I fucking saw. All this time my cousin is just quiet. Hasn't said a word yet. I ask him what he thinks. Everyone shuts up to listen to him. I think we shouldn't worry about it, he says. The fucker was wrong and he knew it. Mary gets mad at people for not taking her seriously, but eventually calms down. We all settle down and sleep upstairs in the big room with the TV. The rest of the night is uneventful. Day 2. Wake up, still a little weirded out from last night's events. Whatever, probably just some weirdo, won't happen again. Start out the day just fine, eat breakfast, go for a morning hike with everyone, except Mary, who left that morning in her own car. Smoke a little, head back, all the while feeling awfully paranoid that someone was watching us. Start swimming. Sitting on the water trampoline. Look out into the forest. See someone standing there. They're pretty far away so I can't see who it is. L wave, they wave back but the wave seemed real sluggish, almost slow motion. Look back at group, there's only 5 of us total at the lake. Me, Aiden, Luke, Mark, and Chris. Everyone else to smoke, I assume it's one of them. Look back at where the person was, they're gone now. I guess they moved on. Everyone who was gone suddenly shows up. How'd you guys get around the lake so quickly? I ask them. They're confused, says they were just in the house eating. What? I waved at you though. Dude, what are you talking about? We've all been inside. Okay, what? Cousin Luke looks worried. He looks out into the forest. I'm weirded out now. Level 5 nope alert right now. Something's up. Get off water tramp and ask my cousin what's up. Not right now, I'll tell you later. Okay, whatever, it's about 6 or 7 p.m. Meanwhile, Chris, Henry and Jesse go out to the shed to get a shovel. They want to dig a hole so we can have a fire pit tonight. Gone for a while. Suddenly hear a screech from the forest. More screeches. Luke tells us all to go the fuck inside now. We all nope our way to the house. What the fuck is going on? He says nothing at first. They aren't supposed to come out during the day, he says to himself, they're breaking the rules. WTF are you saying? Hear a banging at the door. It's Chris screaming at the top of his lungs. Open the fucking door, Jesus Christ, you cunts, open the door. Luke opens the door and Chris barges in. Henry and Jesse nowhere to be found. Where are Henry and Jesse? Luke asks. Fuck if I know, I got separated and these things fucking start chasing me. Luke goes around the house and locks all the doors and all the windows and closes all the shutters. We all go upstairs. Look out window down the hill. See dozens of figures walking around near the edge of the woods. It wasn't even walking, it was more like they were jittering their way around. Like they were having seizures while walking. Even more standing near the shed on the other side of the woods. Just standing there. What the fuck, Aiden says. What? I ask, but I don't need him to answer. Henry and Jesse are on the path on their way from the cabin, as if nothing is wrong. They're just fucking walking really slow. Swalk up to the door and try to get in. Shouldn't we let them in? Still knocking, non-stop. Luke is silent for a moment like he's seen this before but doesn't want to tell us. It isn't them, he says. WTF? What do you mean it isn't them? Still knocking, louder now, more than just one hand, like a bunch of people knocking together. That's not them. It looks like them but it isn't, we need to fucking leave. We wait until morning, but no one sleeps. Knocking all throughout the night. Endless screeching from everywhere. Eventually screeching dies down. Knocking fades too by the morning. But Henry and Jesse are still there. I look outside from the window above the front door. They're staring straight at the door. Suddenly they both look up right at me. Their eyes look gone, just deep empty sockets. Jaws are slack. Fucking stare into my soul. There aren't eyes but I can still feel them looking, even after I leave the window. I will never forget that look. They're both. Around 9 a.m. Luke decides it's time to go. Luke grabs his gun, gives us all a golf club that belongs to his dad. We're all just going to run to the cars, don't look around, just go. He tells me to drive the Range Rover and Chris is going to drive the sedan. After designating where everyone is going to sit, we all pile up by the back door. Luke opens it slightly, looks around, then starts booking it to the car. We all follow. Get in the cars. See Henry and Jesse running after us, but they aren't running. Almost like they're sliding across the grass while standing up. Like puppets on strings. We get in the car. Jasper won't get into the car because he doesn't want to leave them behind. Luke fucking punches him in the face and throws him into the passenger seat of the sedan. We drive off, Henry and Jesse chasing us. Loud screeching from every fucking where. They almost drown out the sound of the engine. The screeches sound like what I imagine a man-bat would sound like. I see figures on the side of the road, and occasionally I see faces. They're exactly what Mary described. I wish I could forget them. They look gross, deformed, and improper. They all had slack jaws, but one side of the jaw usually hung lower than the other. Their shoulders were lopsided, their stance, and crooked, and their legs seemed broken and backwards, like a grasshopper's legs. Kept seeing them until we left the foresty area. Drive 90, all the way home. A few days after I got home I called my cousin and asked him what went down. He just kept telling me to forget it. I asked him about the things he said. Like when under his breath he said they're breaking the rules. Always just tells me to forget it ever happened because it would be better that way. Okay, so I have a story. Not sure if it is paranormal, but freaked me out. Live in Arizona. Went camping with some work friends in Sedona area. Near river, wooded area. One friend has speech issues. Had some rhoticism issues, couldn't say our sounds says very well. Anyway, went camping in a remote area. Set up camp near river since it was before mosquito season. Rhoticism guy is quiet type, just sort of falls into background. Don't see much of him, everyone is running around exploring and swimming. Gets dark, things settle down. Still not around, but no one is too worried. Grown-ass man can take care of himself, not that late either. Getting darker, starting to worry. Rhoticism guy finally shows. Takes seat by campfire, stares blankly into it. Ask if he is okay. Yes. Ask where he was. Says nothing. He has always been aloof and quiet, so just let it go. He's back, safe, that is all that matters. Start having fun with other friends again. Forget about rhoticism guy, he just sort of slips into the background as always. Go to bed, rhoticism guy and few others stay up. Felt good going to bed, but couldn't fall asleep. Got more and more restless, drifting in and out. Kind of have to piss, thought maybe that would help me sleep. Get out of tent. Rhoticism guy still in his exact spot, barely able to see him from the burned down coals. Nearly shit myself, creepy as fuck. Fuck, just can't describe it, he was sitting there, completely still, just looking at the coals. Rub hands together and put them near fire pit, like he was warming them with a big fire. Not sure what to fucking do. He and looks at me. Finally decide to say something. Maybe something freaked him out from when he disappeared. Maybe he saw a dead body or something and is now in a catatonic state. Start calming down. You okay? It is like 4 a.m. Suddenly stands up and starts talking. Acts cheery, but can't seem to put emotions behind it. Babbles on for a few moments about the sun coming up soon and getting another good hike in before having to leave. Wants to go for a hike with me. Like, right that damn second. Doesn't want anyone else to come or know where we are going. Doesn't want to me even change clothes or put on shoes. Gets more and more persistent. Suddenly, realize that he is pronouncing words perfectly. Rhoticism guy cannot say some words correctly for his life, this guy has not messed up a single word. Start freaking the fuck out. Say that I am going to wake up others. Go towards the tents, rattle them, yell to friends that it is time to get up. Never take eyes off of rhoticism guy. He sits down, returns to his pose of just staring at the coals. Most friends get up. Pretty pissed at me. No fucks are given about that. Say anything needed to keep them up. One guy bitches about the cold, talks about getting firewood. Rhoticism guy offers to join him. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Don't know what to do. Out rhoticism guy? Try to lie to keep him still? Or just let friend go off with him and be thankful it is not me. Retarded me, I volunteer to join them. Rhoticism guy stares at me for a moment. Might have been a glare, might have been just a calculating stare. Either way, I know that I saved my friend's life. Rhoticism guy follows us, slowly, just really fucking creepy. Like he didn't fit with us. Do not leave friend's side for a second, keep looking back at rhoticism guy. Friend gets the idea that something is up. He starts looking back at rhoticism guy too. Get the damn firewood, get back, never take eyes off of rhoticism guy again. Friend does same, he seems to get that rhoticism guy is acting weird. Just stares blankly. Doesn't talk unless spoken to. Will do out of place actions. Like, he'll kneel down and pull his shoelaces around, like he was pretending to tie them. All of the others return to sleep for a few hours. Once people wake up, no one but me and my friend notice that rhoticism guy is weird. He will randomly talk to the others, trying to get them to go off alone with him. No one does since he was always so weird about it. He asked one guy if he wanted to go piss for example. Roticism guy might be quiet but fuck, he isn't that aspy. Keep close eye on him, make sure no one gets alone with him. Pack up, time to go. Once we get near Sedona, Roticism guy asks to be let out. Says he'll walk home. Fucker lives in Phoenix, 2-hour drive. Let him out, do not give any fucks, just want him out of the damn car. Others seem confused, but I don't care. He gets out, we drive off. Stare at him. He doesn't move, just twitches a little bit. Make turn, can't see him anymore. Immediately tell others what happened. Slightly scared that he'll jump out and start going gorilla on the car or some shit, but nothing. Others comment that he was being weird. But still don't agree with just leaving him. Can't seem to convey that he wasn't being weird. No one but the firewood friend believes me. He doesn't speak up much. Drop it. Back at work, Roticism guy doesn't show up for a few days. When he does get back, stays far away from me. Not sure what to do, but he seems to be back to normal. Doesn't offer to go to the bathroom with any more people anyway. Eventually talk to him. He's pissed at to why we just left him out there. Yell at him for being so damn creepy. And besides, he asked to be let out. More arguing about the facts until I get it. He claims that I took him to show him something on the first day. Walked for hours, then I disappeared. He was lost in the woods the entire damn time. That was not Roticism guy that spent the night with us. Never speak of it again, never tell Roticism guy my side of the story. Used to go visit Grandpa up outside of Bozeman in the winters. Grandpa is this tiny little frail old man, but he's hardy as fuck. He used to take us snowshoeing up in the mountains and carry most of the gear in the sled he pulled behind him. It was fucking cold up there, your snot would be frozen before it left your nose. The times he did convince us to go out, we ended up staying in ice caves that Grandpa had carved into snow banks earlier in the winter. It got dark really early, and of course no campfires because ice and snow everywhere. One year we're out there camping with Grandpa and he's really on edge the whole trip. Don't ask him why because we are stupid kids and don't think it matters. Random outbursts, yelling at us for not tying a knot right. Yelling at us for not keeping up with his insane pace. Stops hiking at about 2 p.m, nightfall isn't for another 3.5 hours. Me and brother exchange WTF. Looks with each other. Look around for his ice cave. There isn't one. Hey Grandpa, where are we camping? Grandpa is nowhere to be found. Can't find his footprints, which is strange because snowshoes leave enormous footprints that you can't miss. Backtrack and refollow the trail to where we were earlier. Footprints just fucking end right where me and my brother were when Grandpa told us to stop for the day. After a lot of deliberation, we decide to head back, following our tracks back to the main road, where we will somehow flag down a car and get help to find our Grandpa. We hike about an hour back the way we came. Suddenly hear voice. Where the hell have you kids been? It's Grandpa and he's pissed. Says he was hiking along and all next time he turned around, we weren't there. Says our footprints just ended about 100 paces back from wherever he was when he realized we were gone. We tell him something similar happened to us and we just got back from 2 miles ahead of us on the trail. Suddenly, he goes into wild animal hyper alert mode. Stops talking. Eyes scanning forest around us, head pivoting side to side, trying to see everywhere at once. Get freaked out and brother starts crying. Grandpa won't respond when we ask him what's wrong, quietly muttering incoherently to himself. After what seems like forever, Grandpa starts moving again. Simply says, "Y'all me," and we do. Too scared to argue, but he's going in a third direction, i.e. not where we came from and not where we were originally headed. We are all hiking close together, literally stepping on each other's feet, can't hold hands because of ski poles, but we would have if we could have. Eventually emerge in a clearing. I recognize it as a lake, but you'd never know it in the winter when everything is frozen solid. We get out on the ice and walk all the way to the middle of the lake before we stop. Grandpa tells us to get out our parkas, as we're going to be staying a while. Ask him what's happening. Doesn't answer. He gets out binoculars and starts to scan the shoreline. This is a pretty huge lake, so without binoculars, neither me or my brother could really see anything besides little distant trees on the shore. At this point, Grandpa puts the binoculars down, unpacks a fairly large caliber revolver and holster, and puts it on his hip. He then picks the binoculars up and points them in the same direction he was looking a minute ago. Me and my brother both look in that direction. I can barely see something moving around. No, a couple things, all of various sizes. They're all hanging on the bank though, none of them leave the thick brush surrounding the lake, or venture onto the ice. After a few minutes, Grandpa silently hands me the binoculars. When I look at the movement on the shore, I almost shit my pants. There are 3 animals. 2 are what I can only assume are wolves. Maybe coyotes, but I don't think so. The bodies are just too long, almost snake-like. The 3rd animal is some sort of all-white thing standing on 2 legs. The more I look at it, the stranger it seems. At first I took it to be a bear, just standing there on its hind legs. Then it starts walking, pacing around really, and the legs are just too long and slender to be a bear's. I sit down on the ice, lean up against my backpack, and get a more steady grip on the binoculars. Slowly realize that whatever it is has the approximate build of a human, but the head is clearly not a human head, some sort of animal. I can't place it. Ask Grandpa what the hell I'm looking at. Brother snatches binocs away, and when he sees it, he labels it bearman and wants to take a few shots at it. Grandpa says Indians used to dress up in animal furs in order to blend in with the animals they were hunting. Slightly stop shitting myself. It's just an Indian in a bearskin. And he has 2 dogs that look like wolves. And they're following us, but are afraid of ice. Start shitting my pants all over again as I realize that this is about 100 times weirder than a real bearman. It's starting to get dark, and we're still out there on the ice. We're all watching the Indian / bearman / whatever the fuck it is and his dog / wolf slowly wandering along the coastline, clearly avoiding the ice, but clearly trying to get out onto it somehow. Every once in a while, they'll change direction, as though they were pacing back and forth. In the time I have the binoculars, I see the thing, and his dog / wolves motionless and staring directly at us many times. No one breaks the silence for a long time. When it gets too dark to see anything on the shore, Grandpa relaxes, puts down the binoculars, and actually starts to make camp as though nothing had happened. Of course we don't have a tent, but we do have sleeping bags, and bivy bags to keep the blowing snow off of them, and the wind off our faces. Me and my brother look at him like he's crazy. We're going to sleep out here. I say something like, what about that guy? Holy shit, he's right over there. Doesn't matter, we spend the long night in that exact spot. Next morning, we can't locate any animals or bearmen after 45 minutes of scanning the trees around the lake. Grandpa deems it safe enough to head back by now, and since he knows these woods so well, we take a different route back to the main road than we took to get there. After 1 mile, he's doubling back, staring at mountain tops and measuring angles between them with his arms, and I'm convinced he's lost. In the next moment, several things happen all at once. With no warning, a huge moose gallops out of seemingly thin air and almost crushes my brother, managing to push him on the ground. Grandpa collapses for an unknown reason. The 3 of us form a triangle, and in the middle is a slender person covered in all white fur, like a polar bear, and with a bear head, or maybe a mask, but it looked pretty damn lifelike. The 2 wolves, I'm sure they're wolves now, are circling at a distance, or rather, one is circling. I don't see the other. Bearman lets loose a scream like you imagine Bigfoot might make when caught in a bear trap. Grandpa half sits up, points revolver, and fires off 3 shots at the thing in rapid succession. Huge puff of snow like a silent explosion, and can't see anything for a few seconds. Now a second moose goes herding through, and after it's gone and the snow has settled down, the bearman is gone too. No traces of blood to be found. Can still see the one wolf, pretty far away, but it's still circling. We proceed to book it out of the woods, taking the shortest and most direct route off the mountain. Think that Grandpa isn't really sure about where he's going, but nobody gives a shit, we have to keep moving. Still think I see the wolf out at the edge of my vision, several hundred feet out through the trees, or maybe it's both of them. We eventually do get back to Grandpa's car. Turns out he did know where he was going. It's been covered in fresh snowfall since we left it there. There's 10-inch paw prints all the fuck over it and around it. Nope. We clean off the snow and see that there are dents in the hood, like hail fell on it, but they're right under where the paw prints were. Nope. Tar.gz biz nope. On the drive home, we all swear to never speak of this to Grandma or to my mom. Have to swerve out of the way of a huge roadkill. Almost drive off the road. Stop just in time. The thing in the road is a huge mound of fur with no distinct animal-like forms. No head, no legs, no tail, blood everywhere. Looks like a giant skin thrown over a giant mound of flesh. It moves. Nope. Grandpa peels the fuck out, drives home 30 miles per hour over the speed limit, and we never look back. End.